My name is D.K. Sadana from Indigenous Livestock Society India, and having been retired from the ICAR National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources at Karnal. Today I am going to speak about the A2 milk and the Indian cattle breeds. Basically, milk can be classified into two types. These are A1 type and A2 type, and that is based on the type of the protein that is present in it. If we look at milk, we know milk has all the various items in it like protein, carbohydrates, fat, minerals, vitamins. And in the milk, 3.5% is protein. That protein itself in milk is generally termed as casein, and the casein is as much as 82% of the total protein in the milk. Casein itself can be of different types like alpha casein, beta casein, kappa casein. Of these, it is beta casein which we are to talk about in regard with the A1, A2 types of milk, and beta casein itself can be of A1 or A2 types and some other types which can be brought back to either of A1 or of A2 type. But we'll just now go back to see that how historically it came up as a big news and a big scientific development in the country. In 1991 in New Zealand, one pediatrician, a child doctor, Dr. Bob Elliott, he went to the islands little away from New Zealand mainland, and he made an observation that the children there just do not suffer from type 1 diabetes. And also he noted that the people do not take milk there because there are no cows either. So these two things were intriguing for him. So when he came back to the mainland, he spoke to the protein expert Dr. Jeremy Hill, who just made this opinion that possibly the absence of the type 1 diabetes in that island is connected with the absence of the milk which has A1 casein, possibly indicating that does A1 casein cause type 1 diabetes in children? So they did an experiment with mice. They took two groups of mice. To one they gave A1 beta casein and to the other they gave A2 beta casein. To the group to which A2 was given, not a single case was suffering from diabetes. But the group of mice that received A1 beta casein, as many as 47% were diabetic. This also was proven by, there happens to be a medicine, naloxone, which if it is given, it is anti-opioid and it removes the effect of A1 being an opioid. So this showed that when naloxone was used at that time, they noted that A1 effect was lost. So if A1 effect was there, it caused diabetes, and if its effect was removed by the use of naloxone, for example, then the effect of A1 to cause diabetes was also lost. In fact, earlier McLachlan has studied about various countries and put up a graph. He showed that how the countries where A1 is more, the consumption of A1 type of milk is more, there the number of deaths in people due to heart disease was much more. And in Finland especially, where the type of cattle are Ayrshire, he noted that there the number of deaths due to heart disease was much higher. Again, almost 1 year before that, McLachlan had collected the information from several countries, and he had put up a graph which I am showing next. In that graph, he showed that the different countries which are using A1 milk much more than A2 are having higher percentage of deaths due to heart disease, and that was connected with largely the use of A1 type of milk. And at the same time, another breed of cattle, Guernsey, in US and UK, this breed has much of its milk as A2 type, And these people, the Guernsey Association and the Guernsey Breed Society, they um, they try to increase the number of their Guernsey cattle, and they try to spread this breed more, saying that this breed doesn't have A1 milk, which is problematic. And soon in 2007, a book came written by Keith Woodford, and the book is The Devil in the Milk, which showed all these researches in detail, that how possibly A1 is causing as many as 5 problems. Now we have to look at the reason how it happens. The protein, as we know, in small portions is known as peptide, and it happens to be a long chain of amino acids. And the beta casein, which we are talking about, it's having the size of 209 base pairs. We call them 209 amino acids. But the problem is at one base, the base which is 67th from the beginning. In this position, the A2 milk in that position 67th is having proline in it, whereas the A1 protein is having histidine. Now the problem is in this difference, which happens to be at the 67th position in that chain of 209 amino acids, because histidine is not as strongly bound with the surrounding amino acids. So a small peptide of the length of 7 amino acids separates out. This is known as BCM7, and its full name is beta casomorphin 7. This is an opioid. This in fact is known to be a toxin, and it causes some problems. This is also shown in this picture, that the particular one amino acid at the 67th position is the real problem that results into BCM7. The 5 diseases it causes are presented here: the type 1 diabetes, the ischemic heart disease, arteriosclerosis, which is again said to be blood pressure, or arteriosclerosis and atherosclerosis. And 4th one is autism or schizophrenia. And the 5th one is SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Now we have to see, where do we get the A2 milk in India? In fact, in India, the source of A2 milk are all the Indian breeds, and scientifically, ICAR and BAGR has already shown that all the milch breeds in the country like Gir, Red Sindhi, Sahiwal, Rathi and Tharparkar, these are all 100% A2 type. So there is no problem in taking the milk from these breeds, whereas the breeds which are of the other kind like Holstein and Jersey, they produce A1 type. The Indian cattle breeds are expressed here in the country in the different parts, different states. India has the indigenous cattle breeds which produce A2 milk. And I am showing next all the 30 breeds which were known in 2010 had been fully recorded, but subsequently 13 more breeds have been brought up. And all these 43 breeds, 30 plus 14, are all producers of A2 milk, which is safe, which is not causing any problems. And the A1 type of milk, which is coming from the exotic breeds and their crossbreds, has been fully reported to be connected with those 5 diseases. So we need to take care of our Indian breeds to increase their numbers, produce them in larger numbers at all the various places, so that people can get the A2 kind of milk, which is much better. Thank you.